have a poetry reading here from Yasmin Patterson, age 8. She will be reading a poem called Each of Us Has a Name by Zelda.
Each of us has a name by Zelda. Each of us has a name given by God and given by our parents. Each of us has a name given by our stature, our smile, and what we wear. Each of us has a name given by the mountains and our walls. Each of us has a name given by the stars and our neighbours. Each of us has a name given by our sins and our longing. Each of us has a name given by our enemies and who we love. Each of us has a name given by our celebrations and our work. Each of us has a name given by the seasons and our blindness. Each of us has a name given by the sea and our death.
Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce Melissa McIntosh, the Shadow Minister for the North East.
Her name is a song, as poignant and stirring as our national anthem. She was her parents' first Australian. She is the little girl in every home across our country. She's the heartbreak in all our hearts. She's 10-year-old Matilda. We are gathered today on this National Day of Mourning as leaders, as mums, as sisters, and as Australians. We are women who should be changing the world with girl power. And there is one little girl who, in my heart, I believe has the power to do just that. I didn't know Matilda personally, but like everyone, I feel as though I do. She is every 10-year-old Australian girl. She gave love to her family, to her friends, to her community. And she received love in return. She did not hate anyone. Matilda was part of another family that I also belong to, the Australian Judo family. We are a tight-knit community, and this week I spoke with Matilda's coach, Warren. He had been coaching Matilda and her little sister, Summer, for years, and Matilda had been going to judo since she was 3 years old. Warren told me they are beautiful children and that Matilda was a tough little nugget on the mat. He called her Hair Bear because she had enough hair, he joked, to cover the bald patch on his head. He also said that Matilda and Summer shared a rare and special sibling bond. Judo was a sport she loved. And when I asked my own daughter, also named Summer, what else she thought Matilda might have loved, she said her friends, her family, animals, and being active. We saw in the last public vision of Matilda at the Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach here just a week ago that she did love her family. She did love animals, and she was so bright and happy, full of light during the Festival of Light. Thank you to the National Council of Jewish Women of Australia for bringing us, so many of us here today together. To the Governor-General, to my parliamentary colleagues, to every single person standing here today. 1 week from the most terrible terrorist attack in our nation's history, an attack on our Jewish Australians, an attack on all Australians. The women of our nation are with you. This time of year is meant to be about sunshine and warmth. It is a season of light, renewal and community. Yet this past week, it has been difficult to see the light through the darkness. The love in our hearts has been wounded. And it is here, in this moment, that I want to honour something deeper. I stand before you as a Christian woman with Jewish sisters and sisters from all other backgrounds, together in grief. Our traditions are different, but our values are shared. We come from faiths that teach the sanctity of life, the power of community, and the responsibility to protect the innocent. We both light candles to push back darkness. We both believe that love endures beyond death. And today, women of all backgrounds stand together, and in this unity, there is a symbol that speaks to all of us, the bee. In Jewish tradition, the bee represents courage, wisdom, and the strength of women. In Christian tradition, the bee symbolises community, sweetness, and the promise that life continues. And in every culture, the bee reminds us that even the smallest among us can bring light, purpose, and extraordinary impact. Little Matilda B, as her family called her, was like that, a tiny ray of sunshine with the power to touch a nation. She will not be known as the youngest victim of an act of terror that devastated our country only. She'll be known as the light, the hope and the love that will inspire change for the better. Her life now calls us all to stand together, to have the resolve that we will not let fear and hate divide us, that we will protect our children and build a nation where every family can live safely. May her memory be a blessing. May her light guide us. And may we honour her by choosing love over fear, unity over division, and hope that carries us all forward in peace.
We will now have another musical piece, Arms of the Angel, and I'd ask any dignitaries and members of Parliament who are here who have a flower to please take this opportunity now to lay that down. Thank
for that second chance, for the break that will make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction or a beautiful what you feel. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here.
You might have noticed that the people laying flowers today actually were laying just an individual flower, and that touches on the Jewish tradition that we are taught that every single individual soul is a whole world, and the loss of just one life diminishes us all. I would like now to invite Carolyn O'Hare, PSM, Chair of the Victims of Terror Australia, please.
Thank you so much. My name's Carolyn O'Hare. I am the Chair of Victims of Terrorism Australia, and thank you, Linda, so much for inviting me to speak today. I really appreciate that, and I acknowledge Her Excellency, the Governor-General, here as well. I'd just like to talk to all of us a little bit today about what terrorism is. It's such a complex issue, but many of you probably don't know that since 2014, Australians have become victims of terrorist attacks 15 times in Australia. And there have been, since 2001, 50 offshore attacks. And each of those people who were involved in any of those attacks, when this occurred last Sunday, they're right back there to what happened to them on that day. That averages almost 4 attacks per year involving Australians globally. This number of victims doesn't include the children, the spouses, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, grandparents, neighbours, teachers, school friends, work colleagues, university friends, community group. In fact, everyone with whom the victims had contact and the wider community who knew of them. Each of them also deeply affected and traumatised. And then there are the first responders, paramedics, nurses, doctors, police, fire and rescue, surf lifesavers, and the public, our community. We estimate that for every victim, 100 others associated with them are deeply impacted. And we don't become victims of terrorism because of who we are, but because of what we represent, our community and our way of life. We see our own vulnerability here today through the vulnerability of others. And terrorism is the only crime that unites us all and for which we are all, in some measure, victims. Let me just tell you too that last Sunday was not the first terrorist attack against the Jewish community in Australia. In 1972, letter bombs were sent to Jewish businessmen and community leaders in Australia. In 1982, the Hakoah Club in Bondi, just down the road in Hall Street, and the Sydney Israeli consulate were consecutively bombed in Sydney. In the 1990s, 5 Sydney synagogues were firebombed. And in 2000, attack planning was conducted to bomb the Sydney Israeli consulate again and the Israeli embassy in Canberra. Fortunately, neither eventuated. And we all know what's happened since October 7. Some lives have been lost in those attacks. Some people have lost limbs. Others, their livelihood, their careers, their future. For the bereaved, some no longer see a reason to live. Some live with complex trauma, complex grief, or both. Some become stuck on the question of why. Currently, the whole community is traumatised, so what must we do? Governments must lead us to care for victims of terrorism. We must all listen to them, learn from them and empower them. We must honour and validate them and show them empathy instead of apathy. We must understand the burden of their physical, psychological and emotional scars by the loss of their livelihoods, their grief and their loss of privacy. Above all, victims deserve the respect and care of governments and the community and inclusion in decision-making about what will happen to them. They deserve to be consulted on every piece of legislation, policy and practice that affects them. Victims should not have to ask for recognition. When victims unseen are heard, they become living memorials through their storytelling. As Elie Wiesel said, when you hear a witness, you become a witness. So please don't forget the victims of terrorism and what happened to them. You can help prevent terrorism by listening to them, by condemning terrorism in all its forms, and by reinforcing and recognising that any one of us here today could be the next Australian victim of terrorism. These latest souls were targeted because they represent all of us. Can I just ask, as a final piece, that we each turn to each other and offer a sign of peace, whether that be a handshake, a smile, a wave, a hug, whatever it is, but turn to somebody near to you and offer them a sign of peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolyn. I'd now like to invite Marjorie O'Neill, MP, the State Member for Coogee and Parliamentary Secretary for Transport and a good friend of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to the National Women Jewish Council, to Linda. And I just want to start by acknowledging the remarkable work that you do, and I know that the work that you will continue to do over the coming years, weeks and months in helping rebuild the community after all of this, and a really important role that you and your association, I know, are going to play in that, as Jewish women hold such an important role in the Jewish community. I also want to just acknowledge as well everyone that's here today, essentially the Governor-General, parliamentarians from all over, community. I also acknowledge the presence of Randwick Rugby that are here today, who've been deeply impacted by the loss of Mars, and the many Gentiles who have come here today in solidarity with our Jewish community to say never again. This weekend's attack was an attack against the Jewish community, and Jewish community who had in fact many chosen to leave or had to escape the USSR from persecution there. But it was also an attack against our broader Australian community as well. For those who know history, you know that what starts with the Jews never ends there at all. And as I think about words that I can say that can help, that can create some healing, it's incredibly difficult. I'm lost for words because for me, and I think for many here, the pain is too big. The anger is too big. The grief is too big. But I have to think and say that the men who persecuted the crime last week, they are not Australia. This is Australia. The hundreds of volunteer surf lifesavers who were partying dressed as elves, who chose to come out while there was gunfire, opening their doors, saving children, that is Australia. Our lifeguards that ran barefoot from other beaches, that is Australia. The thousands of people that have come down here to mourn and grieve and say never again, that is Australia. Ahmed, our Syrian refugee who came here and dismantled, that is Australia. The terrorists that came to do this, they want us divided. And they win when we are divided. Now, more than ever, the silent majority of Australians, you need to stand up. We need to hear from you. That's is Australia. This event will not divide us. It will not divide us. But we need you. We need the silent Australians to turn up and be vocal and say never again.
We just have a couple more speakers and a music medley, but I just want, on behalf of the healthcare workers here, to say we understand it is extremely hot now. If you need to sit down, please sit down now. It's very hot. We don't want anyone to be unwell. I'd just like now to introduce two important women in our community, Rabbinite Judith Leviton and Rabbi Jacqueline Ninio-Oam, please.
Today marks 7 days since the Bondi Janucá attack. In Jewish tradition, the 7-day period following burial is called Shiva. The term is derived from the Hebrew word Sheva, which means 7. The 7-day period symbolizes completing a natural cycle of time. In the concentric circles of grief, Shiva is one of the most intense periods of mourning. Mourners sit on low stools and refrain from ordinary routines of housework and business. The community surrounds the bereaved with their presence and care. There is a catharsis when leaning into loss and honouring memory. Shiva does not erase pain, but it provides structure and a place for grief, and then for beginning of healing what has shattered. Shiva strengthens the bonds of community between mourners and those around them. The 7 days since the Bondi Beach terror attack echo this rhythm of mourning. As a community, we have been sitting in a kind of collective Shiva. We have come together to sit, to reflect on the loss, and to show love and care for each other. We have held each other. Just as Jewish mourners are not left alone, but rather visited by friends and neighbours, so too we have gathered here to remember, to cry and to sing. We have created here spaces of comfort, resilience and connection. Shiva also carries the hope of transition. At the end of 7 days, mourners rise and take a walk outside, symbolising the first steps back into life. This ritual acknowledges that while loss remains, the world continues, and the mourner must re-enter it. As we mark 7 days since the terror attack, the parallel is poignant. As I was coming here, I saw swimmers on the beach, people slowly returning to the water. We cannot undo the tragedy, but we can choose to rise together to honour the victims by affirming life, compassion and justice. Sitting Shiva reminds us that mourning is both personal and communal. After 7 days, the call is not to forget, but to carry forward and honour the memory of those we love. We pray for a speedy recovery, a refu'ah shlema, for those who have sustained injuries. And we remember Adam, Boris, Edith, Boris and Sophia, Marika, Peter, Tibor, Matilda, Reuven, Rabbi Yaakov, Dan, Rabbi Eli, Alex, and Tanya. May their memory be a blessing. I would now like to say a psalm. I'll say it in Hebrew and then in English. Shir lama'alot, esa enai al heharim, me'ain yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim va'aretz. Al yiten lamot raglecha va'al yanum shomrecha. Hine lo yanum velo yishen shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha, al yad yaminecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach balayla. Adonai yishmerecha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzeitecha v'echa me'ata ve'ad olam. A song of ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Hashem, maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Hashem is your guardian. The Lord is your protection at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Hashem guard you from all harm. He will guard your life. Hashem will guard your going and coming, now and forever.
This prayer by Rabbi Edith Mencher. We stand in grief with the devastated families of our nation and our community. We weep over the incomprehensible loss of life. We cry out with shock, confusion, and pain. We mourn together over this senseless act of violence and destruction. Be with us, God, in this time of sorrow and fear. Help us, God, to offer comfort to those whose hearts are shattered. Rekindle hope and trust and courage within us and them. Help us, God, to sustain our belief in the promise that even in the darkest of times, even when we feel most discouraged, there is reason to trust. To believe that love is never extinguished and light and spirit will prevail. Help us rededicate ourselves to building a world that is safe for our children. Help us to rededicate ourselves to building a world that is safe for all people. During these difficult days and nights, may we all find comfort and peace, hope and light, and bring that to our broken hearts and to a broken world. There's a story about a man who approaches God and says, God, I am not very impressed with you. The world is full of tragedy and sorrow and pain, and you just sit there, you've done nothing about it. And God responds, I have done something about it. I created you. Each of us has been created with the spark of divinity and divine light within us, and it is up to us to bring that light into the world, to create and shape a place of which we dream and we yearn. And now we're called to walk forward into the world with kindness and compassion, embracing and loving everyone in its sacred beauty. It can feel overwhelming. It can seem impossible that we can make a difference. But as we were reminded just a moment ago, each one of us is a world, and each one of us has the spark of beauty within us. And we have the power together to make change. If we hold one another, support one another, and shape the world together. So now, as we turn from grief and we ask the question, what do we do now? Now we do good. Now we change the world. Now we dream big, beautiful dreams and work to make them come true. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu va'al kol Yisrael va'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. God who creates peace in the heavens, bring that peace and wholeness and oneness to rest gently upon all of us and all the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency, the Governor-General Sam Mostyn, would like to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming this morning, as you have been coming over the course of this week in huge numbers. Thank you, Linda, for bringing us together, using the power of women, the National Board of Jewish Women, to bring us together in an act of absolute integrity and togetherness. Thank you for doing that. I heard the call this morning on the radio, and I think that many, many women here and the men that support you, we could be nowhere else. The women bring us, they call us. We're here in white, in the spirit of light. We must take that forward. I'm speaking to you not just as your Governor-General, but also as a mother, as a friend, as a woman, and someone who, when I took on this role 16 months ago, said that what should be at the heart of my office, which is beyond politics, beyond policy, would be care, kindness and respect. In committing myself to my whole term around those three values, which I believe are core Australian values amongst many others that we share, I was calling on the words of a former Governor-General, a Jewish Governor-General, Sir Zalman Cowen. Sir Zalman Cowen was needed at a different time for Australia and needed to be a peacemaker, a broker to bring peace to our country and to heal. Sir Zalman said very clearly that the office that I now have the great privilege of representing all of you in must be the one that reflects the light and shade of the country back to the country, to interpret the mood of the nation in these moments, and then to act with all of you in those moments of healing and unity, for us not to be divided, but to come together as we are today and this week through Shiva, to show that we understand what that means for us as a nation. Care, kindness, respect, compassion, everyone belonging in this nation. I took very seriously Sir Zalman Cowen's words and the words of all my predecessors who have had similar moments of needing to be part of national unity, but doing that as a vessel for all Australians. Yesterday, I was at the Anzac Memorial in Hyde Park to acknowledge the 110th anniversary of the withdrawal of the Anzacs from Anzac Cove. 110 years ago, those brave men, including Jewish soldiers, Jewish Australians, one of whom took the Victoria Cross for his valour, left the shores of Gallipoli. They had done their work in Gallipoli in order to provide peace for the world. They were led by a masterful general, John Monash, General Sir John Monash, another Jewish man who led our country with military distinction. When we think about the unspeakable, ghastly acts of terror perpetrated here almost exactly a week ago, I think about what it was like to stand in the shores in the water of Anzac Cove on your behalf on Anzac Day in April, and to think how unspeakable it would have been to consider that the shores of Bondi Beach, we would have 1,000 surf lifesavers in an act of commemoration yesterday on this shore at Bondi on Gadigal land, commemorating the work that they had done on behalf of the community. We've become a nation that knows very well how to remember Anzac. We draw that tradition through so rightly. As Commander-in-Chief, I preside at many of the Anzac commemorations for all of our servicemen and women over our entire history. But we have to start learning other history. And in March, I invited the Holocaust survivors of Australia, particularly those in Sydney from the Sydney Jewish Museum, to come and share their stories. The average age was 100. These were the people we've been hearing about this morning from the women who have spoken. Their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their parents, and their children came. They left notes in the visitors' book, and the most profound was one by, I'm not going to name her, but a woman at 101 who just said simply, "You must teach the lessons of the Holocaust to all Australians. We must not let this happen again." And yesterday, I was shocked to learn that another Jewish woman, a 94-year-old Jewish woman who's been coming to the Anzac commemoration in Hyde Park every year, rang the organisers to know whether she would still be welcome as a Jewish woman at a commemoration of Anzac. Of course she was welcome. Every Jew in this country, the entire Jewish community, whether it's here in Bondi, across our nation, you are part of the belonging story and the success of this country. As for those of us that are not of the Jewish faith and have been called upon by the speakers today to show our faith in each other, you've heard how we can do that in so many ways. We can start with what the rabbis have been asking us, for millions and millions of mitzvahs, millions of acts of kindness. It starts here at these commemorations. It shouldn't end at the end of the first week or the first month. This is now a national project. Mitzvahs, good deeds, care, kindness, compassion to each other, Jewish or otherwise. Everyone in this country belongs. I've been receiving letters of condolence from hundreds of nations on your behalf from heads of state. They believe that we can do this. They're looking to us to say, just get on with the project. Use your kindness, use your skills, use your values. Step up, because the rest of the world knows that we are a shining light of what peace and democracy looks like where everyone belongs. It's on all of us, and I give you my commitment that this is the national project. I will work with you and listen to those who will help guide the work that we all must do. Take care, everybody. Take care of each other. Thank you.
We will now have a few minutes of musical reflection, and then we will play the national anthems. Thank you.
Yeah. לא
Thank you, every single person who's here. Thank you so much for your love, for your kindness, and for your hope. And please hug as many people as you can today that you see. Love each other, and thank you so much.
Thank you. morning, everyone. Thanks for just having your attention for 1 minute. We just want to let you all know that you have the Randwick Rugby Club represented here today. This is our community. We're all part of the same community. Right now, we're here to remember a member of our club, Peter Marr, 40 years as a police officer, community service. Was a huge part of our club, and we don't want to talk much today. We've just come here to pay respects to all the victims and to lay down a couple of special memories for us on Peter. So if I can call on our guys, Dave Bayer, to lay something. Thank you. We've got members of Peter's family here this morning. Our hearts are broken for them as all of our hearts are broken for our community. So please, let's wrap an arm around each other and start to heal.
I also would like to thank the members of the Randwick Rugby Club for being here today en masse. Your jerseys, hands wrapped around each other. I just want all of you to know that your presence here means more than you know. And we're in this battle together. And we draw on your strength and your mateship and your attitudes of never giving up and trying your very best. And that is exactly what we as a united community are going to do. Draw on your inspiration, your example. We're going to unite, arms around each other. And as a united society, we're going to get through this, rebuild and regrow to build a brighter Australia. On behalf of the Jewish community and that's the locals here as well, we're all deeply affected. We want to thank you for staying with us and for laying out your flowers and your respect here today. Thank you.
We have here today a group of Yazidis. They came to Australia for freedom. They are persecuted back in Iraq. They appreciate Australia. They're scared to lose Australia. They got in the car in Armidale 8 hours ago and travelled here to be here to give respect and to try to tell the crowd we've got to save Australia. I'm going to ask one of the Yazidis to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I stand before you today on behalf of my community, the Yazidi community, with deep grief, but also with absolute clarity. We mourn the innocent lives taken in the brutal attack at Bondi Beach last week. Lives stolen not by chance, but by hatred. People who gathered in peace were met with violence meant to terrify, to divide, and to silence. We honor the victims. We grieve with their families and we hold their loved ones in our hearts. May their memories be a blessing and may their strength find those who now live with enormous loss. Today, the Yazidi community stands firmly and publicly in solidarity with the Jewish community, our brothers and sisters. Let's be clear, this was not only an act of violence, it was an act of hate directed at identity and faith, and at the simple right to exist safely. When hatred is allowed to target one community, it threatens the safety of all of us, of all communities. As Yazidis, we do not speak about this lightly. Our people survived genocide at the hands of those terrorists, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS. This is not history to us. It is memory, trauma, and loss that we carry every day. ISIS murdered more than 10,000 of the Yazidi community. They killed more than 10,000, and we still have 3,000 missing since 10th of August 2014. And they destroyed our shrines, our religious places, and our houses. So when we see violence driven by extremist ideology, we recognize it immediately. We know its language, we know its intent, and we know its sequences. That's why silence is not an option. We say clearly and without compromise. We condemn anti-Semitism, anti-religious, anti-faith in God. We condemn the terrorism. We condemn extremist violence in every form against every people. To our Jewish brothers and sisters, the Yazidi community sees you, we hear you, we stand with you fully. Your pain is not invisible. Your right to live freely and safely is not negotiable. The Yazidi people understand what it means to be targeted simply because of who you are. We understand what it means to bury loved ones, to live with trauma, and to rebuild after devastation. And because of this, we reject division, we reject hatred, we reject the lie that violence can ever bring justice. We choose unity, we choose courage, we choose to stand together, we choose love, not hate. Let us honor the victims not only with words, but with action, by confronting hatred wherever it appears, by protecting one another, and by refusing to allow fear to shape our future. We will not be divided, we will not be silent, and we will not allow hate to divide our communities. May the victims rest in peace, may the wounded find healing, and may our shared humanity be stronger than those who seek to destroy it. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank everyone who's been here for healing and support. The Bondi tragedy reminds us how important it is to stand together, support one another, and reject all forms of violence. My thoughts are with the victims and their families. Thank you.
All flowers are like they're all dying now. It's so hot. I almost come down to the photo with the rabbi, and he's just talking to people the whole time.
Yes, this is the rest.
Oh, Levi.
Oh, right. That's how they got my picture. Yeah, come up over here. Can you see the picture? What?
Adonai, Moshiach, Hamelech, Yaneinu, Yom, Horenu.
We're not blocking their view. Sorry. 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 What a thing.
I should stay back. Every Saturday. And one day I took her and the lady said, oh, it's finished. All done. Then you start seeing that South Juniors.
I think another reason why I'm here too is because, you know, like friends that have just passed away, paying my respects to them. Like just recently found out about 3 brothers. Yeah. Okay. Another reason I'm here is to pay my respects to family that passed away. Couldn't go home. And an example of 2 brothers died. One after the other. Sit. No, sit down, sit down. Oh, okay. You want to come sit down? Yeah, you come over. Oh, you stay.
No, you stay. No,
we go over here.
No, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, you want to do that too. Yeah, you stay. Okay.
Where are you from?
Israel. We're from New Zealand originally. I do.
You're from Israel?
Yeah, they call it New Zealand. So,
of course.
Yeah, so we had to come to pay our respects.
Are you
No, Maori, New Zealand. Support the community. Support the community. No, I live here. We live here.
Yeah. We felt we had to.
Yes.
We felt we
How
had
did you know?
Yeah, because we get things checked. Where it just come from? Yeah, but ours is different to yours. Yeah. And it replaced with the same man. God is God. For all races, regardless. Why this is so crazy? I've been here 40 years. 40? No. You should have an Aussie accent by now. Doubt it, no way.
Israel is.
You just sound like an Aussie. You said it's been 40 years. Not a kid.
Just letting everyone know, we're going to be reading out the names of the victims on the hour, every hour, until 6 p.m. tonight. On the hour, every hour. So that's in about 13 minutes. We're going to be reading out the names of the victims. Thank you.
I've been in every meeting this week. I mean, people, now everyone in the world does it. People about someone totally unrelated to me. I don't know some guy in France. I was speaking to him generally, but I heard really bad in Sydney, talking to you guys, and I started completely. Started to what it chair of the meeting. We spent a short time Wednesday thinking a moment of silence. I think that was here. I mean, everyone. It is good in that sense.
Some of them just don't want to, shall we take some photos and send it to Bishop?
Yeah.
I reckon I should. So the neighbours can see too where we've been on.
I honestly don't like taking photos.
You want me to take your photo?
I'll have a think about it. It's kind of sacred, so.
I find it's sacred.
Cameras. Yeah, there's lots of cameras around as well. Full photograph. Also trying to reflect on things that we've lost recent. Just take this moment as well. I had three brothers. I knew one died early, but the other two, they were one after the other.
I've always been a point of contact. Just because thumbs out later. It's good to see a good example. But in all honesty, otherwise, as you said, they see pictures in a journey.
I want to. And he's in charge of our congregation, and he has counsellors, and then we have, we call them auxiliaries. So we have the Relief Society, goes to Bondi, and they have presidents and then they have different activities. I'm in charge of the eldest choir, which is men. And then we have a youth, girls and boys, and then primary, which is the little ones to 12. And where is we're down in Eastland. Yeah, our chapel's down there. We've got different chapels around. So Bondi, this is part of our congregation area. Yeah. And then our temple is out. Oh, I know. Yeah. At the moment, we've had I'm hoping to go there in April. Not yet. We beat you to it. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Likewise. Bye-bye. That's what it's about. Yeah, missionary work. So, he's from the normal too. Yep. They met the missionaries down at the garden. Oh, did they? Yes, just the other day. And they've been through the soul. Oh, have they? Yeah. Oh, the pictures are going to show the Mormon tabernacle. When he's going to announce their names on the hour, the thing is, he probably got what, half an hour? Going in the car? Shall we go to the market? Well, you can if you want. Come here. I don't know who it is. That's the right here. Oh, was it? Oh. Well, we can say this for sure. She's God's father now. 100%. She's not with all the others. Yeah, I've got two of those caps with a Jewish, what do you call it? Star on it. Yeah, down at the rifle. Put it in the washing machine and wash it, clean it. I like it because it's gold. You know, nickel and gold. But the material itself is all black. But the gold shows up with that. Yeah. Look how big this glass. Yeah. Oh, I'll be in trouble with my eyes. Mine is the TVs, yeah. This was simply, you know, don't make the pictures for world community.
on the news too as well, hey? I reckon they would. Oh, why not? So you know what can happen in the last day? The Jewish. Some Satan will raise the army and fight each other. And the army will be huge. And they will fight each other. I think them because they'll have two apostles or three apostles. They'll be in the city. At that place, two of them actually. And they'll fight Israel. And the army can't keep them. There'll be a lot of crying. And then what will happen? They'll find out about these apostles and they'll kill them. They'll find them killed. And then what will happen is the army will start overtaking the cities. And just as we're going to overpower the city, then the Lord comes again and will stand on the mount. And then they'll all walk underneath him, and then he'll fight your battle. He'll fight that army, and then that'll usher in, it'll be a long battle, and then that'll usher in the millennium, then he'll reign for 1,000 years. And then the king, when he comes, see his see them in the sea devil, and then they'll know, oh, he came 2,000 years ago and we rejected him. Because those are his people. As is we are, as is we all are. A couple more minutes and then I think we're going to go to our car. Yep. Parking tickets down here is pretty bad. Just wait for that camera.
It's the old lady in the plane, I believe. She must know something.
That's what I was saying. If you've got family age that have passed away just recently, then my mate Colin, he had a diabetic, and then he went into a home to look after him, and then he's been on dialysis for a while. Apparently my mate said that he just gave up. The dialysis, he was too far gone. He was saying the dialysis wasn't doing it.
You can't do that. The style don't work.
Yeah, no, it works. But for him, he was in such a bad way. Whereas
You let it go off too long.
Whereas my other mate in Utah, Mark, Medicine, he was on dialysis for 10 years. And then he got a donor. 10, 12 years. And he got a donor. And then it was successful. And then the first thing he did, he flew back to Puerto Rico when he saw his mum.
That's working.
Yeah, when he lives in Salt Lake. Ooh.
10, 12 years and when he got the kidney and everything worked out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 12
Went back home to his mum.
p.m.
Saw his mum.
As promised on the hour, we're going to read out the names of the victims. We're going to honor them and the light that they brought into the world, because they were truly the best of us. Each one of them has a unique story and made a unique contribution to our community and to Australia. And their names are 10-year-old Matilda, my dear friend Rabbi Eli Schleiner, Peter Marr, a member of the Randwick Rugby Club. We just had a large cohort of representatives here. Tibor Whiteson, a relative of my wife. Dan Elkayam, Alex Clayton, Holocaust survivor who came here for a better life. Reuben Morrison, Marika Pogany, Rabbi Yaakov Levitin, Sophia and Boris Gurman, Edith Brutman, Boris Tetleroy, Adam Smythe, a Gentile walking past with his dog, and Tanya Tretier. And I'd love to share with you a little bit about Dan Elkayam. He was a young French man who came here not too long ago, and he immersed himself completely in the Australian way of life. He got involved with football, with soccer, and he became part of the soccer community. He would regularly play on Bondi Beach, kick the ball around. In fact, on that fateful day, last week on Sunday, in fact, at this time right now, he was there on the sand, kicking the ball around, playing with his mates. And he came to the Janucá by the Sea celebration, where the forces of evil, two agents of evil, came with their rifles to end life, to end light. And he was there. Dan was there. And from what I heard, he was actually found murdered. He was rescuing a child. He was covering a child. And everyone who knew him said that they are not surprised. That is how he went. He was so loving and giving and an amazing friend. He loved everyone around him. And he would want to do all that he could to save another person or a child. And that is what he did. And that was one of the victims, Dan Elkayam. And each one of them has a story that's not dissimilar to that one. They were all beacons of light. All of them were committed family members, committed community members. They were the best of us, giving constantly of themselves to bring light into the world. And they were gunned down at a festival of light. And I share with you their names on the hour, every hour, and one story, so that you can take something away. You can connect with something, because we need to inspire a movement of people. We need to inspire a revolution of light to come out of this, lest this moment just pass us by and become old news. In the beginning, there are 100 news outlets here reporting. Now, on day 7, not that many. But we have to become the outlets of love and light. We have to band together. We have seen over this past week the best of Australia, not the worst, with the tens and tens of thousands of individuals, of families. There was one next to me just 2 minutes ago. They drive from Newcastle, from all over Sydney, to bring their love and to show their solidarity. We can build together a movement of light that needs to come, not as we've seen, or as we should have seen from the top down, but we will inspire it from the bottom up. A movement of everyday good Australians, like we've seen this past week, who say, we've had enough of hate,
We've had enough of these forces of darkness taking over our country with these protests of hate. We are going to build a movement of love. And so, dear friends, take your story away. Do something good for a neighbor. If you see a member of the Jewish community and you are not Jewish, just go over to them in the weeks that come. Put your arm around them and say, I see you. I'm with you. And if you are Jewish, let's continue being proud of who we are. Because people respect those who respect themselves. And if we respect ourselves, and we come out proud in who we are, and we show that we're not going to allow any darkness to overcome us, then that is how we will continue to shine our own light. And so now perhaps let's sing together a blessing of peace. And in Judaism we believe that a blessing is not just a wish or a request, but rather we're actually drawing down the spiritual energy, the building blocks that we need to realize what it is that we are praying for. And so perhaps let's sing together now, or say shalom. For those of you who have returned, you've heard this probably sung over and over again. You probably know it off by heart by now. If you don't know all the words, just say the word shalom over and over again, because it appears like 20 times in the song. Or just close your eyes and have a quiet moment, a personal moment of connection. Oh, say shalom dimroman, Huya se shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru amen. Oh, say shalom dimroman, Huya se shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Let's conclude now with Let's conclude now as proud, united Australians with our Australian anthem. Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soul, wealth for toil, our Lord is built by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair. I want to thank all of you for coming and for keep coming. On the hour we're going to be doing this, remembering one victim and sharing a story, but saying all of their names. Please spread the word and please keep coming back, because it matters more than you know. There is a constant stream of survivors and families of the victims and the bereaved who are coming through. And seeing everyone here together makes such a big difference, because we're all united, and that is how we will get through this as well. Thank you.
Get a drink.
Yeah, Bruce, give it to me, huh? Yeah.
Somebody picked up the same flowers as us. Look.
Oh, they did too.
What?
Somebody picked the same flowers. Oh, you could have got a rock. Maybe we can do a rock next time and you can put the Star of David on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do ask that you can please leave the site that you're standing at right now. I do apologize, we are going to be having an event at 4 o'clock, but it is now a lockdown with the police coming through, just for security reasons, so if you can leave the site through the white fences. You can pay your respects on the other side of Bondi, where there's a flower installation on the other side where you can put flowers, but please do respect us and leave the site so that we can start to do a proper security sweep. Thank you so much, and we will see you around 4 o'clock on the south end of Bondi. Thank you so much.
of all of them, which is like starting to get a little loose, but very much.
Where did you say she lives?
She lives in
Куда мы идем, Алекс? Туда?
Что? Да.
listen, before I was there and that I was him, and he was just here at the memorial. So when I heard that they'd been murdered, and my dear rabbi, my dear friend, was murdered, I didn't know what to do. I was broken. And so I came to the memorial to try and find some connection and some healing. And then I hear you share this story of my Rabbi Eli. And he started to cry and broke down and hugged, and the stories are still flowing through of the victims. So what I'm trying to do is on the hour, just share one story of one victim who are my dear friends, and I've lost family as well, and we're a small community, everyone knows everyone. And we're all proud locals as well, Aussies, and we're all equally impacted by this. So I want to share that message, and hopefully we can all take something away. We can all take away a little bit of one of those stories we connect with, and bring a bit more light. They were the rest of us. They were victims of life. We're trying to celebrate the best of life, and now they're not here, but we are. So we must take away something. Be nice to your friend. If you see someone you haven't called in a while, today, just make that phone call. Bring a bit more light into the world. So that is how perhaps we can honor them. And maybe I'll just conclude my remarks here. I'll be back here at 3 o'clock to share another ringing of the name, one more story. And maybe we'll end up with a little biblical Hebrew blessing of peace. And if you know the words, join me. If not, then close your eyes. Connect in your own way.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm not sure because